Hey everyone, welcome to the Elite Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Popple, along with my co-host, William McClellan. How you doing today, Will?
Dude, good. What's happening?
Oh man, it's a great day, and today, man, it's just you and me. Get ready to catch everyone up on what we have going on. Just give me 1 second while I share our live link with everyone on our page.
Moving and shaking, man.
Yeah, let everyone know to please check us out and comment on our live episode. Cool. All right, I got that underway, and just kind of excited and want to give everyone an update on everything we had going. You know, we had a busy month in August, 3 closings, and man, you got a new job that is right in line with everything we're doing, and you can now directly help every new builder, everyone in new construction, everyone in commercial construction, residential construction. If you do construction in the Panhandle area of Florida, you need to talk to my boy Will over here because he has a new gig and he's ready to help and quote out your job. Will, tell us a little bit about what's the new company you're with.
Yeah, man. It's Dufresne Building Materials, family owned since 1955. Massive expansion. They're based out of Louisiana.
I was going to say they sounded a little French.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely have a great market share there. Actually, with some household names, they're the largest distributor, like independently owned in Louisiana. And then for some household names you guys might know, like Yellowwood, that company, like the Talladega 500 sponsored by Yellowwood. Hardy, James Hardy Siding, which is very, very popular here, especially.
That is the go-to siding in 38.
Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, man, we're just having a blast here, trying to find the best deals. We've got great vendors, great suppliers, and due to the volume and the amount of stores, we can broker a lot of deals too. So if we don't have it necessarily in a Florida store, we can check Mississippi, we can check Louisiana. There's a lot of vendors that do direct, where if you're doing something, one-off special orders, we can shop all of our vendors from Tallahassee to Atlanta to Birmingham to Jackson, Mississippi, all the way down to Houston and all the way around Louisiana and back. So yeah, definitely we can beat all of those prices. You guys are going to be working directly with me, so it's not like you're going to get into a call center at some of the other larger material supply stores and things like that. So, and then my goal really is just to make sure that I'm sourcing and finding the best prices for you guys. And it also helps me because I get a good grasp on the market, state to state, supplier to supplier, stuff like that. So yeah, man, super excited. It couldn't be more in line with like my overall goals, because now you guys are probably very privy and know it's a commodities market, right? So as lumber goes up and down, it allows me to stay kind of, as close as possible to the trends. So with that being said, that's another great opportunity for us to have big cost savings, because I can lock in prices depending on the volume you guys are doing, lock in prices 30, 60, 90 days, depending on what type of customer you are. And let's say the quote was at $1, and then the lumber market, spiked. If we locked you in on that price, our margins are thin, but that's something amazing about this company being family owned is that they want to make sure everyone succeeds. So let's say lumber went up to $1.50, but you were quoted at $1, prices change, but if you fall within that threshold and you're going to buy, they're willing to make deals. But equally, if prices were to fall at $1, we can requote you at the rate. So that's something that's really cool, and especially for projects that we have going along and everything that's kind of happening on our end, being able to be tied in as best as possible to a market, no matter what it is, if it's real estate specific, if you're talking, a lot of people that listen to the show are investing into stock market, just staying close to it. This is really cool because it's a blend of real estate, but then also a commodities market. Commodity trends run independently from what's happening on the NASDAQ and the S&P, but as economic trends move up and down, there's a lot of consistencies with those ebb and flows. So it's been cool. Kind of gets you into a whole bunch of different things, but then they're all kind of full circle. So
cool. And guys, I get a lot of great benefits of being Will's sidekick, because I get to see a lot of the things that he does and how he interacts with lots of people. And Will has one of the best reputations amongst all my friends, amongst everyone that knows him, as far as someone who's charismatic, caring, and it really goes above and beyond to make sure he's taking care of everybody, no matter what it is. I mean, I've seen him outside of business just doing anything. I mean, you should see how patient he is with me on the pickleball court. So I'm just telling you, you couldn't be in better hands if you call Will, to help you with any of your construction supply needs. What are some of the biggest things that you can?
Really nice. That's really nice words. So I really appreciate.
Hey, I 100% mean it. I mean, like I said, So
I do have to say, I did have a client that I did a lot of moving and shaking for, and got some product from Mississippi. It ended up not coming, to standards that I wanted it. Was able to credit it back, send it back. Got a new order sent, and the sales order was $4 to me, but the thing was, it didn't matter about what it was. It was like, this product's no good. Like, I don't want you to have it, even though we were already getting it at a really, really great deal. It doesn't matter. It wasn't up to standards. So, but man, I do appreciate that.
I'm a vouch for my personal interactions with you that again, and like I said, this isn't me just commenting because he's my business partner. Like I said, I've known him and I've seen him do business with other people. He cares more about the long-term relationship than he cares about making $1 today. And I'll put my whole net worth on that, that.
Well, we've done deals together where you can definitely, I appreciate you vouching and letting people know that, but you definitely know that I'm here. I am a big proponent of, I'd rather have a piece of something versus all or nothing. And a piece of something to me is still worth everything. So it's not like, if it's a $40 job, or $400,000 job, like you're going to get that. If you're calling me, if I can't answer it because I'm on the other line, you're going to get a call back.
Right.
You're going to get that email. I'm going to get a quick summary based off of everything that we, talked about, and whatever we can do to get that solution. It's funny. I was writing a quote last night that changed 3 times between 3 p.m. and midnight, but I made sure he really needed some materials this morning for a pickup, and we were able to make it happen. But it was tough.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I know from talking to you that you've been you definitely been burning the midnight oil with the new gig, trying to get everyone's orders in on time and making sure they get their products. I was going to ask you though, if anyone listening, like what do you think are like just the top 3 products you offer that you feel like you can beat pretty much anybody on prices?
Sure. Well, there's going to be 2 things I want you guys to factor in, because we're brokering a lot of things. That means there will be freight costs, things that are on the ground here in Pensacola that you could pick up today, or get delivered, tomorrow, depending on the truck schedule. That we can beat prices on is anything framing. There's no one that's going to beat our prices for studs. It's just not going to happen. And the reason is that lasting relationship from 1955. It's a core relationship with the owners of the company that I'm working for, and the overall direct wood suppliers to them. They've known each other for 70 years. This is kind of crazy when you think about it like that. And both are still privately held, which I think is very cool. Our company is also family owned, which I think is like multi-generation which is really cool to me. That was like a big appeal because I've done corporate and I've done a couple other things. Like for them to have the owner with the last name Dufresne come to my interview and make sure that this was going to be a right fit, that was like, oh, okay, this is it. This is going to be cool. There's a great opportunity. This is a great market. It's a new market to them. But the fact that the owners are there, hands-on, it really spoke volumes. And I know that I'm going to be anyone on Hardy too. So if you need a frame package, if you need Hardy, which is your siding, I can definitely be competitive with vinyl, but Hardy, just because of that long-lasting relationship as well, we're going to beat those. And then I actually am working on a mutual friend of ours, personal home, for a very, very specific door. It's going to be really awesome, but just to give you guys notice, I know that I can win on windows and doors as well, because for this door, I've already sent it out for 7 different people to bid this job, because the go-to supplier in-house, it was just too much. And so I said, hey, this isn't going to work. And so I've been sending emails, making texts, making phone calls. So what I have to do to make the deal work, I will. And there's even points where we're working trust deals right now for clients that, we're going to stay as competitive as possible, so that when you get that frame package, you're saving thousands, boom, off the rip. You're getting windows and doors, thousands. My goal is to make sure that you guys are happy, and having that benefit of the longevity of a privately held company that's done really, really well allows us tons of access to suppliers and vendors. So if we can't in-house get it done, I'm going to shop around for you, because as I'm putting together all these quotes and getting other people to quote it, I want to make sure that we're winning your business. So like, if the numbers aren't going to work, I'm going to keep working for it to work, so.
Dude, that's perfect. And yeah, I mean, I know we're definitely excited to take advantage of using Dufresne on our builds as well. Just because, I mean, it is definitely great products and high quality and the best prices. So if anyone is listening right now and you're a home developer like Will and I are, these savings are straight to your bottom line. When you're building houses and you're selling them, I mean, these thousands you save go straight to your pocket on the home sale.
Exactly.
Because you're still building the finished quality product. And like I said, you cut a couple thousand off the framing, cut a couple thousand off the windows and doors. I mean, before you know it, that's an extra 10 stack right in your pocket.
Yeah, and a couple other things that we're getting insane rebates on right now, that'll help everyone. If you're a rehabber, if you're just focusing on quick fix and flips, like if you have to replace a wall and I need to get a stud pack out to you it's not a full frame package. I mean, we can turn that, we can get it picked up instantly. But massive opportunity here in the coast, because we have really strong ties with a lot of decking and handrail companies. So for outdoor patios, different types of fencing, like if you have a house and it needs a little uplift.
So if you're building a dock or okay,
all of
commercial marinas,
big time. I have 4, which I can't really say yet because it's not approved by the city, but they're going to happen. There's going to be some really cool marinas happening in and around downtown Pensacola, which I think is really going to make a really cool for next summer. There's going to be new fuel docks around town, new slips. It's going to be there's going to be some really cool projects. That's a whole nother pulse that I have my thumb on, is being able to see something that I've already really, really enjoyed. Even if I don't win any of these quotes, I'm at least getting to meet a ton of great people. I'm getting connected with the county and the city in different ways outside of just land. And something I've really enjoyed is just being able to read it's something that I like. I know I've talked to Sam about this. Is like I like reading and sketching plans, and
And he is good. Like it's not even just a hobby; he's good at it. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you. And getting to read these plans and see the local architects, the local engineers, how they write and create plan sets, which has just been awesome because I actually found a great number of leads by calling some of these architects, letting them know, because they're the first people. You have to have the architectural setup drawings to turn it in for a permit. So what better way, instead of when someone's pulling a permit and has already bid out a job, what better way for me to connect and save a contractor or a homeowner or someone money than when it's getting drawn out? So I've been able to really kind of build a separate book of business just by getting these plans, trying to quote them. And it's also cool because some of these plans I'm looking, trying to find the addresses and things, and I'm like, this is going to be a cool project. And so that's been a really cool thing too, especially for the things here local in Escambia County, kind of like these marinas. Like even if I don't win them, I'm really excited to know that there's going to be some really cool commercial projects going up for all of Pensacola to enjoy.
Right. No, for sure. And I mean, just another benefit of working with someone like Will is like, Will's not just like a regular salesman in construction. He's actually someone who has experience and has been in the other side, been in this person's shoes doing the order. He's project managed who knows how many builds when he was with D.R. Horton. And then he's put his own money, he built personal homes before he and I got together, and now we're building homes together. So I'm just saying is like he understands it fully, like what you're going through as far as having to, write the checks, put it all together. He has that empathy, so he can really, really help you put it together in a way like probably better than any other, salesperson could, because like I said, he's been on both sides of it and staying on both sides. Like he's, we're not going anywhere. We're only going to get bigger and bigger in our own development business. Like I said, this is just a benefit of getting to work with Will, and this new job is definitely going to give benefits for our business together. But like I said, he's going to be able to help so many more people in the construction world, fix and flip world, by getting them better prices. And in the same time, while you're talking to him, I'm, ask him for some input around the job site, because, he knows what's going on.
It's funny you mentioned that. I walked a really cool house today that gave me some inspiration. It's a really beautiful home, amazing owners, but it's a mid-century modern overlooking Escambia Bay on Scenic Highway. And it's just like an amazing lot. And it gave me a lot of really cool inspiration, because that's a very unique build here. You might, sloped roof, massive windows, open living space. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. But something that was, when I was talking with this person, they own a large contracting business as well. Mm-hmm. And when I was going back and forth, we were kind of having some fun, because it's like, man, I already really like you. You're not really trying to sell me. You're just mostly liking what I'm doing here. And I said, hey man, I have the benefit of being on the other side. And there's two people you always remember: the really good salesperson that you had and the worst one. Right. There's someone that you're going to still be able to call today, and there's someone that you just deleted their number. And I don't want to be the latter for sure. So that's why I'm kind of just going to bat and being, like you said, on the other side of it. I know what is good and what is bad, and I only want to be able to help. And because there's a lot more that boils down to being able to work this logistically and everything than just price. You have to be able to answer the phone. You have to be able to be consistent.
100%. And I mean, like I said, I know, just outside of construction, we've all dealt with salespeople who have, like, I know me in my restaurant business, I have my food suppliers, and I have these people selling me all the time. Not one of them has ever owned a restaurant most of the time, so like I have these people selling me who, aren't in my shoes, feeling my costs, feeling my pains, feeling the struggles of, the ups and downs, with labor and food costs and things. And so it's like I said, so whenever I get to work with someone who has that understanding, I just know it makes it so much better. And I know that, like I said, with construction, your experience, you've been on all sides of it, but you've also a lot of people have built homes for other people, but you've built your own homes using your own cash, putting it online.
A little different.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just working with will be your best experience in construction. I mean, I can tell you that as his partner, I get the full benefits of it. So I recommend anyone who can, purchase products from them. Like I said, you'll get some free assistance. If you call him for the products, you can ask him for tips there. But he'll be wanting to help you make sure that your build is the best build possible.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really excited that we can hopefully get your build started sometime.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, look, I'm holding off till after you get your build done because I gotta walk through that kitchen before I go design mine. So, like I said, in a few months, guys, we're about to talk about some of what we have going on, with our products, all our properties right now. But Will has a very exciting personal build happening. It's going to be one of our probably most luxurious homes, but in a smaller package. It's going to be really cool because, like I said, some of the features that are in it you don't typically see in the home he's building, and so I think it's going to be really great for people to see what we're capable of doing. As far as how nice we can build certain products, because we do with a lot of our homes that we build. We build a lot based on comps. You don't build mansions in the hood, and you don't put
sometimes
yeah. Well, yeah, and then you don't put trailers in the nice neighborhoods, So like so, we try to build quality homes that that will raise the home values of the neighborhood we're putting them in, but at the same time we want fit in. So definitely excited, but man, I guess we got to tell people a little bit about our update. So I mean, we got our build, moving quick on 1112 North I Street. I mean,
who knows when this, I mean, I know we're live right now, but
but once it gets reposted to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I mean, it in 2-3 weeks, it might be a finished home.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it was just
a
slab. It was just a slab 15 days ago.
Yep. Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit about it, where it's at, just from your point of view, kind of what we're doing. And we've just got a really great team around us. I think that's something that we kind of talk about a lot, and something that I really love about this podcast is we've had so many guests on here on both ends saying like, oh, partnering is great. Oh, partnering is terrible. So it's something that you just have to kind of figure out, find a person that you gel with, understand that there's going to be times where you guys have disagreements, but if you're kind of yin and yang and own that, you'll and you have good communication, you'll be able to see the other person's point of view, and a lot of time coming up with a really great solution. And I think that's allowed us to kind of we're zipping now. I
agree. Well, and I think, like I said, I mean, I think before people get into partnerships, you got to spend some time together and really make sure you got just a personal connection there, because like with you and me, we had one property that you wanted to sell, I didn't, but at the end of the day, we both put each other, it was both putting each other first, in the process, so we ended up selling the property, and like I said, I mean, that, like I said, I know that my partnership and friendship relationship I have with you is more more important over the next 50 years than being right or wrong this month is.
I totally agree. I think there's also a big win behind that. When we sold that, we were able to buy 3 more.
Right.
Which was pretty cool.
No, definitely. And actually seeing that come in full, fruition, because like I said, I'm just going to admit to everyone, I'm a hard seller. I hate selling anything.
It was tough. Even being on the same side as Sam, it was tough.
Yeah. I like to hoard real estate. I'm not. That's just how it is. I'm a hoarder when it comes to real estate. So I typically pick it up and don't put it back down.
That's funny.
And so like I said, I had to talk, but at the same time, Will had more building experience than me. You know, I've done a lot of flips, but as far as new construction, Will's seen it on a bigger scale. Like so with his time working for other companies, that that it's like I said, hard for someone who's just going in and building for themselves to see as much as he's seen. And so I had to rely on him, and he told me about the times where someone would sell this to buy that, and that's exactly what we did. We sold the one and bought three, and so it's like the one.
And we still had like a third.
We still got money to go buy another one.
Yeah, almost a 40% return on what we bought too, without doing it.
I left that out. Yeah, we didn't lose money or anything.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that like people were like, oh, well, if they're buying these lots,
that was one of the reasons Will was able to convince me to sell it. Is because
it was still tough.
It was a solid return. I couldn't deny that. It was still beat the stock market. So. I couldn't argue with that point. And so, like I said, so we already used some of that money to buy 3 lots. We still got some of the money over to,
and we still have some overage.
And and with just the 3 that we have, like I said, we'll be picking up a 4th one, but just the 3 we have, we'll have a single family, we'll have a home plus an ADU, and then we'll have a duplex. So those just 3 lots turned to 5 units versus the other lot we had. We would have been able to build like one big luxurious home, know. So it's like build one big nice home, build 4 quality homes, 4 quality residents, or 5. I'll start with the ADU. So
yeah, and I'm excited about the ADU. I haven't even caught up with you about when I met with our architects and draftsmen. Like,
let's catch up on that live. Let's tell about it. Yeah. What's going on with the ADU on our?
Where do we start? We got a lot of fun stuff. We've been bouncing around. We're about to start or we actually just cleared another one. Have permits. About to start another build. We're gonna be. We're getting 2. We just got 2 sets of plans out of engineering. Mm-hmm. We're about to get another set of plans tomorrow.
So like as of right now, we're sitting on we currently own 7 lots. We got we got one house.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got one house currently. We're having windows and doors installed this week.
Yep.
We got one cleared and
drywall to get set up. We got all the mechanicals set. I mean, that one's gonna fly.
Dude, our GC Steve Gonzalez, Steven builds homes, amazing.
He's awesome.
And definitely great guy. If you're building in Escambia County or Santa Rosa, we're not gatekeeping them. You can call our guy. We
need to have him on the podcast.
Definitely. Yeah. No, we'll schedule that here in the next couple of weeks because he'd be a great guy for anybody who wants to build a home. He has the best subs. They move super fast. He'll get you the best prices. Can't say enough good things about him. He's been a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, and he's awesome. Like
fun to talk to. Enjoy every lunch that we have. So, like I said, can't say enough positive about him. He's flying through our I Street build. Like I said, it was 2 weeks ago. It was just a slab. This week, as Will said, we're already having getting drywall and everything done. Mechanicals are in there. And then, like I said, we have one up in the north end of the county. So that lot is cleared. We're getting ready to get started there. And then the 2 that we closed on, was it 2 weeks ago now? Or three was it 2 or 3 weeks?
3 weeks ago now.
3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
We closed on 3 weeks ago. So
we got those out of engineering. So like that's a whole nother thing is we were pretty confident about these. We did a lot of due diligence. So you're usually not going to get a plan set turnaround that quickly. So what we did is we already took a preliminary set of plans that we were doing and we modified it based off of a couple different opportunities. So what I mean by opportunities is that these are under 31 feet in road frontage, so the front of the property. And so what that does is if it's a historical lot, very, very critical, is you can apply for a variance. So instead of having 5 feet of side setbacks, you can go to 3. So because of that, we wanted to take an advantage. Now, why would we widen the home and shorten it? Well, like Sam had mentioned a little bit ago, now we're gonna get ADU in the back of one, which
Oh,
is gonna
and and we've just been throwing out this term ADU.
oh yeah, sorry.
Additional dwelling unit. Hey, I was guilty too, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just taking off of me. So yeah, additional dwelling unit is what an ADU is. So basically,
I don't know, man. Whenever we get to finalize site layouts, kind of want to do it on C Street too.
right.
To get another.
If we can fit it there, and it won't that the tree on the property line won't be an issue. I'm all for it. So additional dwelling units are a great way to add additional square footage to your property. There's definitely I'm blanking on the influencer's name. Thatch Nugian. He's a real estate influencer out in Washington. That's like his whole MO right now is he's buying up properties that he can build ADUs on. So here in Pensacola, we're just, like I said, trying to do new construction and build them all in one deal. This offers a great opportunity for a new home buyer to do some house hacking if they wanted to purchase it. If they had maybe a little family, they could live in the main home, rent out the ADU apartment. If they're a single guy like me, then you might live in the ADU apartment, rent out the bigger home, and then live completely for free. So there's a lot of advantages to it. For us, we're looking at probably keeping these some of these as rentals, just because they're in really great areas, and we're trying to build a real high quality rental portfolio. So if we do that, then it just gives us an additional doors to rent on each lot. So like I said, there's a lot of benefits of building these additional dwelling units. Some people call them mother-in-law suites. It's like I said, it's just having an extra space. And I mean, that's like another great reason to have it, because I mean, that you might have older children, that want a little independence but still be close to home. You got the apartment out back for them, or if you did have some family that wanted to move in with you, but maybe didn't want them in quite that close, you can put them out back in the back house too. So so like I said, a lot of advantages to having these ADUs. I'm super excited to build those. We closed last week on our duplex lot. Man, that was a long one.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, that was probably a nice way to put it. Man, speaking for Will and myself, this was the longest contract either of us have had in real estate.
Isn't real.
Never.
No, I think it'll be worth it. I think. But
yeah, never have I had sellers drag out a closing. Usually when you put someone in a contract, sellers want to get the money. That they put it for sale for a reason, so they can get paid. And yeah, usually like when you're ready to close it and you tell them you're good to go, they want to close it as soon as possible, get the check. Yeah, that was not the case with these ones.
We were ready. That was in April when we were ready to rock.
Right. Well, then I mean, let's tell them the crazy story that.
I don't know about all that.
I mean,
go ahead and do it.
I do. All right. So this property was owned by a church, right? And
hold on. Let's preface this. Okay. We always talk about the worst and the best deals, and we always ask our guests, and then we also always talk about the craziest things that you see and what's happening. So I want to preface that because this is actually insane what we're about to tell you, because it's actually not even really believable.
There's so much integrity lacking in the people and the characters in the story.
There's just no way this is possible, because.
And then keep in mind, I already prefaced it that we bought it from a church, so it's. I mean, I guess depending on how people feel about that, they know it's probably gonna be either a really good or a really corrupt story. It's the corrupt one.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So what happened was, and we didn't even. The funny thing was, somehow our realtor kind of kept this from us this entire time. He said it slipped his mind, but yeah. So apparently, there was 8 people on this deed. All people needed to sign off on it. Well, what we found out was actually what had happened was that one of these board members of the church created an entity that looked almost identical to the church's entity. I think it was like maybe a letter or something off. So it was almost identical in the system. He transferred.
It was identical. Like it's like a capital L versus a capital I, or I mean a lowercase L versus a capital I. Like it was like I couldn't even tell the difference.
Very intentional, very shady, very dirty. So he had authorization, or he basically had, with his where he was in the board of the church, was able to sign the deed over for the property over to this made up LLC to steal it from the church. I guess he was on his deathbed when he confessed it.
I want to stop you.
All right.
All of this is allegedly. Like we
allegedly.
No.
But to back it up as probably being true, we were supposed to close on this property on April 30th, and it just closed today on September 3rd.
Yep, so, that is true.
I mean, it's allegedly happened, but
yeah. I just want to preface,
in case anyone wants to sue us, we don't know this is fact.
Right. We don't know this is fact. This is what was relayed from the title company, from the other members of the church, from our realtor, from
maybe from a wholesaler to the realtor.
Right. So it was a lot. It was like
long telephone game.
I just wanted to pump the brakes there, because it wasn't like I or Sam this is fact, I think it is, because like he said, we were supposed to close in April and here we are in September.
And like I told you, in my whole history of doing deals and putting things under contract, I just told you how many we have at the moment. That's just lots Will and I have together. That doesn't count any of the real estate I own solo. And any of the real estate, or Will owns solo, or any of the real estate that I've sold in the past. So I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of deals. I've never had a seller extend a contract that many times. I've had a 2-week extension to take care of some paperwork. That was.
I honestly would have been happy with a 2-month extension, dude. This has been insane.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, we were spending out over 6 months, and so anyway, that's why I think there's some validity to this.
That's fair. I just wanted to preface, fact, but it is crazy. So I'm not going to interrupt, because I want you to tell the story in its entirety, because it's so insane that it sounds made up. But yeah, we were supposed to close in April. Now we're not closing until September, so it gives probable cause. That it's true.
Like I said, supposed to close back at the end of April. They kept extending. We got, I guess it was about a month and a half ago or something was for the last extension, and that's when Will and I talked. Will was ready to drop the contract probably 2 months ago, prior to this.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this has been 3 months. We just have a ton of money just being held up.
Because
it's a duplex lot. I think that's awesome. I was like,
it's money. It's money we had set aside to buy that, which making it so we're not looking for another one. Because. We're not trust fund kids. We only got so much cash,
and we're actively working,
Right. So exactly. Yeah. So it's we have to make all of our money work. And so we really hate having money just sitting there, because we'd rather put it in a deal and turn it, and so it's sitting there as dead cash, earning nothing. And things outside of real estate, Will and I are both decently smart in the market. So, I mean, no, we could have at least made 8 to 10% in 6 months.
Yeah, we literally had this conversation this morning.
Exactly. So, but anyway, back to the story. So, like I said,
back to the story.
The person,
listen up, because it's actually insane.
So this person who was a deacon at his church, board member, transferred it over to his personal entity. And then I guess on his deathbed kind of confessed it, and they were able to convince him to sign it back over. But I don't know how they were able to, because it took months and months and months. So like I said, about 2 months ago when Will and I heard he's going to drop it, I was like, well, hey, let's just go ahead and be a little firmer. So I started doing I usually, whenever someone needs an extension out of me, I like to make them pay. We hadn't been making them pay, so now is the time to start making them pay. And so I told them, hey, if you guys need 30-day extension, cool. We need a $1,000 price reduction. They took a week to respond to that. Like, it was such a long response time.
That was so weird.
Yeah, like just to get back, then to ask for me, oh, can we get 45 days? And my first thought was, dude, if you can't do it in 4 weeks, what makes you think you can do it in 6?
Do it in 6 months. What do you think you're gonna do?
You haven't done it all this time, and so like if 4 more weeks isn't gonna get it done, what's 2 extra weeks gonna do? So I wasn't having it, so I responded, yeah, sure, we'll do the 45 days for $1,500, or we can stick to the 30 days at $1,000. Y'all pick. I love, and that's one of my negotiation tactics I love doing. I love giving people an A/B option, so just let them choose one, and I'm good with either one of those. And so
I gotta tell you, I wasn't even playing from the sidelines anymore. Like you said, I was like, dude, this is money that's not burning a hole in our pocket, but it's burning a hole in our pocket. It's
right.
Like it was like mentally draining on me. I was like, God.
Because our goal is to have all of our cash sitting in lots at all times. We don't want it just in the bank, depreciating.
Right.
So anyway, like I said, that they agreed to the 1,000. The funny thing was, after they agreed to that, it was a week after that they got it done, or they got the clear to close, which
we thought, yeah,
right. But so then we have our closing date. It was actually for us scheduled last week. So like I said, today's September.
Yeah, we've had a ton of money in escrow.
Yeah,
we fully funded the deal.
Yeah, what was it? Was it last Tuesday that I went and signed it?
Let's see.
Oh man, I'm blanking now.
Yeah, it was. It was it's been over a week.
Okay, so like I said, was 8 days ago. I signed it. Well, then, and to be honest, okay, I'm admitting on the podcast now. I was so embarrassed before, but as I'm telling the story, I actually left the closing table, went to the office, and posted a video because I closed it. I signed all my papers. I gave up the money. It was a done deal to me. I've never had it to where at the end of the night, our realtor called us like, they still haven't signed it. And so now we're thinking that someone else in the church, when they signed it back, because they all signed it over to one guy.
One person. Yeah,
one
I think we're skipping around a lot of the crazy.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it short,
yeah.
But like they signed on the one guy. So now we're thinking that there might be another snake in this church, and so anyway, 8 days later, he finally signed it, and it's now closed. But I mean, it's just like that was a crazy one. Like I said, 8 months. It was. Let's see. We're close to closing April, so May, June, July, August. Yeah, so 5 months after we were supposed to close it.
Yeah, half a year. I couldn't believe it because we bought a deal after we were supposed to close that one. Had to demo a house. Had to remove had to get a special permit to remove a tree, and we're about to be in drywall. Like,
what's funny? What's funny is I actually remember us talking about, hey, do we want to do Action first or I Street first?
We had that exact conversation.
We had a conversation about that. I mean, thank God we were just like, hey, let's just go ahead and rip I Street because I mean it's.
Yeah, imagine if we would have waited. It was, oh my God.
Yeah. But man, so what else we have going on is we're now kind of at a point where we are looking for investor partners to work with us because we have a great lot flow. We're actually set to close on 2 more lots this next week.
Yeah, that's fun. That's gonna be awesome.
Like I said, so that's going to put us up at 9. Our goal was to get at least 10 this year, so I mean we're definitely on track to hit that. Anyway, so if anybody's interested in partnering with us on deals, please shoot us a message. Hit me up on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Sam_FloridaMan. Our website, theeliterealestatepodcast.com. Website's great. We have our little form at the bottom where you can just put in your information, send us a message, let us know you're interested. Or if you're interested in working with Will on getting some building materials for some of your fix and flips or that, send it on there as well. The EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. Fill out the memo form to say, hey, Will, I need you to give me a call, and just put the address that you're interested in working in. Because, like I said, Will has worked everywhere. He grew up in Fairhope, worked out in 38, been everywhere in between. So he fully understands the Panhandle market of Florida. Knows all of it well. So, like I said, he can definitely help you. But
yeah, and I'm servicing anyone from the east side of Mobile Tunnel, so Baldwin County, all the way to 38. Pretty much, I mean, Panama City, West Beach, probably could do that too. Got some good contacts there too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. But yeah, it is kind of funny. I've lived on all little parts of the Panhandle.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. So, I mean, it's some cool spots too. That'd be a whole other episode.
Yeah.
But definitely knows the lay of the land well. So, again, go to our website, shoot us a message there if you want to invest in our deals, partner deals. We do have an investment option working right now where it's kind of giving people an opportunity where they can either earn some interest back on investing in one of our deals, or they can get an option to buy it at a 10% below appraisal price discount. So shoot me a message if you want to talk about that.
And kind of high level, what that means is we have two different pricing options for investors. If you want to do an active build, or if you're a long-term like buy and hold, because we're doing premium products, we're going to have, really, really great opportunities to get you the highest, possible for market rents. And then also it's new construction. So you're going to have limited worries. That's the big thing there. So
that's the best part of having a new construction rental property, is because
on top of saving your insurance payment savings, that's
the monthly payments is going to be significantly lower by having, all the 2025 building codes, new windows, storm windows, everything in it. That's going to be better for you. You're going to be able to, it's going to be a Class A rental property as far as quality tenant. You're going to be able to rent it to. You're going to be able to rent it to the best tenants in the market because it's new construction. We're going to have great finishes inside, a real quality that, like I said, anybody would love to call home. And then the benefit of that is, like I said, you have a better tenants, so you have less headaches there. And then you have brand new mechanicals, brand new air conditioners, brand new plumbing. Everything is brand new. So usually the problems you have when you have to deal with those problems, it's usually in something that's 12, 15, 20 years old. You're not going to have any of those headaches. And then if we have anyone interested who's always wanting to get into rental property but just wants to be hands off, but like I said, this is a great opportunity to do that, because then straight from here, we can help place you with one of the property managers that we know locally in the area. And then you're in real estate and you don't even have to do anything. You just sit back and collect your checks. These rentals will be really great for any high income earners out there, because the high income earners can really use the benefits of having brand new rentals in their portfolio to really help with tax benefits.
Yeah.
Because having some rentals like these can significantly lower your taxes you got to pay, from your high income W-2. So there's doctors out there, lawyers out there, like I said, people that are making a great check but don't have a whole lot of time but want to invest in something. These are some great opportunities. So please shoot me a message. Come to our website, the EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. Or like I said, you can just shoot me a message on Instagram as well, Sam_Florida Man. Dude, man, I think we kind of caught everyone up. Anything we want to?
I had a couple things that I wanted to throw.
Yeah. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. Outside of everything that Sam just mentioned, we have a number of plan sets, and we have physical copies as well as ones that you can drive and walk through. But something that I really
stamped and approved for Escambia County.
Yeah, yes, and something that I'm really, really happy for is that we're gradually building into this, market where we can now offer soon a luxury product, which is going to be cool, and we're excited to show you guys about that. Pretty much everything that we have downtown, it's going to be a high-end Class A rental if you do that, or it's going to be a great well, not resale, but new build for sale. And then we're doing some really, really cool projects, especially these ones that are in the county and not the city, that I would consider our medium build. Like it's gonna be like still very high quality products. Locations kind of change, but like even at that, it's going to be significantly better than a lot of things that are on the market. And I'm just kind of excited to have these tiers that we're building out now. Also, with the options of selling and buy and hold. So that's kind of something that Sam and I, not to reiterate everything that he just said, we're really kind of wanting to build something that we didn't see around, and really that option is a two-part win, where like if you want to hold something, you have that opportunity and you're going to get really great tenants with little overhead and things. But if you want to sell it, we're building at a price, and the qualities in the subs that Stevens Homes is providing us is giving us something that has this medium, high, and luxury brand to it. We're pretty excited just to kind of share that, because we're going to get a few different builds going, where you can see all the levels, and that's going to be
And
cool.
if you're an accredited investor with 50 grand or more, we got some stuff where you can just make 10% in about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And so I mean, if that's something you're interested, like I said, go to the website, theeliterealestatepodcast.com, and send us that message letting us know you're an accredited investor. We would absolutely love to work with you. Like I said, we got solutions for quick returns, and we got stuff for long-term investing.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about the plans or anything that we're doing? Because I'm pretty excited about this ADU. I think you guys are going to love it. If it works out, knock on wood, we're trying to come up with some pretty cool solutions, like working in the downtown market, like really tiny lots and stuff. So that's where your build box becomes pretty fun.
Go ahead and explain that the ADU, since you said that you had an extra meeting with Miles and Lee. So
So some cool things about the city of Pensacola is they have lots of rules that you have to kind of abide by. So if you have a corner lot, they require more windows, and that's kind of just to make the look, so it's not just like you're driving by a house and it's just all siding. They want it to be a little more inviting. Generally, there's going to be a sidewalk that's lined, that you'll have to add in if it's not already pre-existing. But now something they added in is if you are a corner lot, you have to have rear entry parking, which means if you're on the corner, no one can park in front because of a visibility clearance. And that visibility is that, so if someone was to drive and someone was to come to the stop sign, they would be able to see across. So it's a safety thing. I think it's really good. So with that, we kind of had this idea. It's like, oh, you're losing a lot of the backyard. So why don't we do an ADU above? And then I was thinking, well, the lot's so short. What are we going to do? So we ended up coming up with this idea, because there's a lot of things that come into play when you start doing more of the development and actually the architectural designs, is that you wouldn't want 2 ADUs in the back, because the roof lines, they would be like 6 inches away from each other. You would have to have gutters, or it would just create just like this washout. And then you also have a certain setback between your main living space and the secondary living space. And then we're kind of thinking like, what's going to work? So there won't be anything else like it in Pensacola. And so I'm really hoping if we can get the engineering and the wind load, what we're going to do is essentially it'll be a raised carport. And what that will do is allow, when you're on the back patio of the home, it won't feel like, boom, you're right here next to an additional dwelling unit and there's a wall. And so now you're feeling kind of bunched in, even if the ADU is on the second floor. So we'll have the carport, and it's going to be a 2-part win. So obviously you can do real street parking underneath the carport, but then also we're going to make it big enough where you could back the cars out, and it would essentially be an extension of the patio of the back porch. And we're working on a couple of approvals for the staircase to actually fall into another variant, which I'll keep you guys up to date. And that's what we're talking about today, to where we can put it into a supplemental setback. because that was really the thing. That stairs are tough. When you guys start building houses or doing things, you're like, man, stairs just take up so much room. And you don't really think about these things until you're like looking at a build box, looking at the site layout, and you're like, what am I going to do? This is 15 feet long. It's going upstairs, and it needs to be 4 feet wide, at a minimum. Plus, you need to build a knee wall, and you're gonna, use 2x6 reinforced on the interior wall, plus whatever your exterior wall is, and it's like now you're talking 6 feet wide. Unless you're doing a really skinny handrail, but then the base of the hand, there's a whole bunch of funny things. So anyway, I think that would be cool because then you would have this like extended covered patio, and we'll put some, some cool down lighting in there. So it'd be a great place to hang out. And then even though you don't have this back porch, or excuse me, backyard, because you have to park behind the house, I think that's a pretty cool trade-off though.
No, I totally agree. Now, I'm definitely excited to see that plan on paper and then see the paper come to life.
Yeah, and then the really cool part about if that works out, I think we'll be able to duplicate that, and we'll be able to put that on C Street, because the way our C Street lot's lined out, we could create an extended driveway all the way across the front, and you would have a separate entrance. And if it would cost a little bit more money as opposed to just doing it the same level, one level and one story for the main house and ADU, we do again that carport, so it's like an independent space. And then also, if we can elevate that ADU in the back, we can put a staircase. And what that will do is it'll give a separation so that if someone from the main living house wants to hang out on the back porch, they're not looking directly into someone's ADU, right?
Right.
So a little bit of a separation. So we talked about that. I don't know exactly if that will work. And the reason is for that one is we have one, I'm not even joking. It is one of the largest live oaks in all of the county. It is like 70 feet tall.
I mentioned that tree earlier. If we can fit it under the tree, that's exactly what I was meaning.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew what you meant, because I had already talked to Miles and Lee about that, because I was like, man, there's a humongous tree, and it is so big that it bleeds, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet into our lot, and it's like not even the lot directly behind. It's like back there. Like, this tree is enormous,
huge.
But if it would all work out, those would be two really cool and kind of unique. I know there's a ton of ADUs, and most people in downtown that have them, it's just like a basic 1-car garage on the bottom and then a living space up top. These would be totally unique. But I think it would also kind of be a start of a cool trend. So that's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit, because I think it's going to be cool.
Definitely, man. I'm definitely hoping we get those approved, because like I said, it'll definitely add to the aesthetic here in Pensacola.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, guys, I think that was a lot of information. We've been kind of grinding. We're looking forward to closing on a couple more lots. I mean, we'll have over 10 lots here soon. And then inside of each one of those lots, we're trying to maximize the rental capacity, like talking about these additional dwelling units on one lot.
If I can get enough, we can get multiple units in there, I can talk Will into keeping them. So that's
true.
That's
true.
the goal.
He's still working it.
I'll get him to keep them if we got two different people living in there. But hey, if it's only a single family, he has to make me sell it. So
I also, if you guys are interested, like Sam said, we're pretty much an open book. We just got our first appraisal back from our first draw, so we can kind of give you real costs. That's just how we do it. We'll give you the real cost on the first draw.
Now would be a great time to reach out, because like I'd love to walk anyone through the property like as it is, like our I Street build as it's going. Yeah. Because like I said, you can literally see it. I mean, if you were walking with me this week, I could literally show you where we are, 2 weeks into the build, on how it's going.
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. How quick it's going. So like I said, I mean, it's like every day I show up, it's like a whole other step is done. So like I came last week and it was like just some light framing's done, nothing overhead. Came back this week, the roof's covered, the frame's all done. They got the windows and everything sitting ready to be installed. So I mean,
All the electrical is run, all the mechanical, so the
All the
HVAC, the plumbing's done. I mean, we're ready to make this thing happen. It's pretty good. We
Yeah.
need to get the shingles. The shingles are set, so they were delivered and put on the top of the roof. So being able to get those, being able to get those put on and rocking. I mean, this thing will be good. So it'll be fun. You guys stay up to date with Sam. He's gonna do some walkthroughs, and you'll kind of see how quickly we're making it happen.
Yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it, because I'm definitely posting more videos on there. We dropped another video on there today of my walkthrough I did just yesterday. So, like I said, if you're following YouTube channel, whoop, they lost everyone for a second.
Okay.
You hear me now?
Yep, I got you now.
All right, cool. But anyway, all I was saying is on our YouTube channel, I'm trying to post at least 1 or 2 videos a week of progress. So, like I said, if you're listening on Facebook, head over to YouTube and check out that video we just dropped earlier today. I'm walking all the way through the house, so that way you can, see it for yourself exactly where we were as of yesterday. Even more has been done today.
Yeah. So, well, in summary, lots of fun things are happening. I'm having a blast. I can't wait to help you guys. Even if you guys just want me to write some quotes or search out some materials, it's really, I'm enjoying it. Like, just kind of having my thumb on the pulse of the market, seeing what's happening, different opportunities to see different types of jobs, is also kind of getting my creative wheels running. So I like that, because I'm seeing like all these cool new projects. Like, for example, I know we're running out of time, but like, I saw this incredible barn dominium that was forwarded to me, and they're doing a barn dominium beach house. It's like the coolest plan set. And I called the owner. I was like, this is the coolest set of plans I've ever seen. And it's just awesome. Like, huge space, garage that you could store all your toys, your boats, your RV and everything. And then on top,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is just so cool. So, but yeah, in summary, for what I can help you guys with outside of lots and our builds is foundation, trusses, framing, all your siding. I'm telling you, no one's going to touch this price for lumber, and no one's going to touch our prices for Hardie specifically. And I'm gonna do my best to get the best window and door prices for you. I can quote impact and non-impact. If you don't know what you need, I'll look at your plans. But more than likely, you're going to need impact windows, especially the closer you get to the water. There are other ways if you're a little bit further north in the city that you won't necessarily need them. You'll just need certain types of windows that are very close to impact. Could save you some money there. All the hardware and everything that you need, interior hardware. So I can do pretty much anything. If you need flooring, if you need hardware for door handles for interior doors, you need interior doors, you can do all of that. All your decking, all your railing, all your stairs, treated lumber, pilings. You let me know, and I got you. So,
like I said, dude, he is awesome to work with. So definitely give Will a call. Again, shoot us a message, the eliterealestatepodcast.com. Just shoot a message on there that's saying that, hey, I want to get a quote from Will, and he'll get back to you in a hurry. Or if, like I said, you want to talk about our builds or talk about investing with us, then just shoot a message there. Like I said, and I'll get back to you urgently. So, hey guys, hey, we appreciate everyone tuning in, listening to us catching up, and yeah, we appreciate everyone who's listening every week to the Elite Real Estate Podcast.
Yeah, dude, just big as always. Just massive thank you to Clean Eats. I always really appreciate these catch-ups and the interviews. This catch-up, I know we've done a couple episodes just kind of keeping you guys abreast on what we're doing. We always are trying to get the best guests that we can possible, but we also want you guys to stay up to date with what we're doing as well. But obviously you guys want great content. We're always getting the pros. Sam and I are not the pros. We always want to get people that we can learn from and that you guys can learn from and take the most from. But we just wanted to check in with you guys, kind of get prepping for the end of the third quarter, getting ready for that new year. Everything's rocking and rolling.
We're already starting to lay down the foundation for 2026. So
yeah.
I hope everyone's thinking ahead because we're 90 days out.
I know. It's crazy. Big shout out to Salah. Let's go. Keep making things happen out there. We're thankful for all you guys. So just hit us up.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week on the Elite Real Estate Podcast.
And this is the only time you guys will get my phone number, 251-232-4800. No, I'm just kidding.
Give them a call. We'll see y'all next week.
Later.
Bye.